Good morning and welcome to the show, and thanks for waking up with us today. I have a fascinating gentleman in the studio with me today by the name of Bob Hurst. Bob is the Vice President of the Bay County Historical Society, and he's also on the Downtown Improvement Board and the President of the Appliance Center, which has been a fixture here in Bay County for quite a few years.
72 years, as a matter of fact. I guess we're the oldest retail store in Bay County.
Wow. 72 years, is that all? Good grief.
That's all.
Well, Bob, you know, first off, I know you're involved in a lot of things, but I'm a history geek, and I find this kind of stuff very fascinating, what you guys do to kind of preserve the history of Bay County.
Yes.
You know, it's hard to know where you're going if you don't know where you've been.
Exactly. I got my start in the 11th grade in American history. I had a very interesting teacher. We were lucky to have good teachers back then. And he got me interested in local history. And then I got involved with Middle Eastern history and studied archaeology, went to University of London. And
holy mackerel.
And then went over and did about 6 years of history, teaching history in Iran, as well as excavating over there.
Holy mackerel! Wow. So now we've got a museum here.
Yes, we do.
In Panama City.
The Historical Society has opened up a museum at 623 West 6th Street. It's open 3 days a week from 10 o'clock to 1 o'clock. We're just getting started, so we've just got a few hours that we're doing. We have volunteers attending the place.
And what have we got in there? You got some artifacts in there, I suppose? Yes,
we've got we've got a lot of Indian pottery. Being an archaeologist, one of the most interesting things that they found is a wooden sewer pipe that was excavated in the downtown. Back probably 100-year-old pipe.
Yeah, a wooden pipe.
We've got a lot of the things from the old railroad depot that's unfortunately destroyed now.
Yeah, I remember that fire. Yeah. That wasn't all that long ago either.
Yeah, we've got a lot of things from that. A lot of old photographs. We've got an old carriage in there that probably people drove from here to Chipley, the county seat, in the late 1800s.
Now, even before that, before Panama City was really settled, there was a thing called the Spanish Road, and I know you've done some research on the Spanish Road.
Yes, I was fortunate enough to find a 1778 map of the Spanish Road, and I discovered that the Spanish Road was not Highway 90, which a lot of people call the Old Spanish Trail. Does
it
Highway
still
90,
exist? I mean, the Spanish Road is
parts of it.
Yeah.
I spent the year 2013 traveling all over the state, from Pensacola to St. Augustine, photo documenting traces of the road that's still there. Some of we were fortunate. Some of the state parks here preserve some of the road.
And for people who don't know, the Spanish Road was the first east-west corridor that went between the two, military installations in St. Augustine and Pensacola when the Spanish had settled.
That's correct.
Florida.
Perhaps the oldest documented road in the United States. It dates back almost to St. Augustine, the founding of St. Augustine, which was 450 years ago, by the way. They're having their anniversary celebrations this year. Almost immediately they started making inroads. The Spanish started making inroads into Florida, and the Spanish Road got its start then. So,
well, Bob, we have to run off to a commercial, but on the other side of this break, let's talk some more about the history of the local area.
Sure.
And what people might be able to do to help you and the Historical Society preserve our history here in Bay County.
Wonderful.
We'll be right back after your Waking Up with Don weather. Welcome back to the show. I'm here with Bob Hurst, the Vice President of the Bay County Historical Society and Renaissance man.
Thank you, Don.
You know, the best interviews always happen between the breaks.
Yeah, right.
I know we talked a little bit about the Spanish Road, but Panama City wasn't always Panama City. I know before that it was St. Andrews, and it was something else before that even.
Yes, initially the name was Park Resort. In the late 1800s, the developers named it that. And that kind of gives you an idea of what they intended this place to be. They established a park, the McKenzie Park, and the focus was a resort around this park. Hotels littered the place. All just about are gone now. There were 2 masonry hotels, one the Dixie Sherman Hotel and the other one was the Marie Hotel. The Dixie Sherman Hotel was demolished. The Marie Hotel is still standing, but it's threatened. They're threatened to demolish it. It's the last hotel of a tourist era that began in the late 1800s.
Where were these tourists coming from?
Of course, Dothan was the jumping off place, and the railroad was built to bring these tourists down here. Before that, you didn't have a very good way of getting down here. You could perhaps come by boat from Pensacola, and there was the old Chipley Road, and of course that's kind of my field of expertise, of the roads, the old pioneer roads here. But you could wind down through the swamps and all to get down here from Chipley and from Mariana as well.
So it was kind of a tough place to get to until the railroad came along, and that was that main artery that brought these tourists in from, you know, maybe Alabama, Georgia, places like that.
They did, and when they got down here, there was the Pines Hotel near the terminal that they could stay. Of course, there were a lot of other hotels as well. And then the railroad had a boat that would take them, the tourists, out to Shell Island, and there was a pavilion out there. So that's how they got to the beach. There was no bridge across the bay to get them over there to the beach.
So even then, Shell Island was an attraction, and I guess the beaches and the beautiful waters is what brought people here.
It did. So a lot of them bathed, of course, along old West Beach Drive, but they could take boats and go out to Shell Island, yes.
Well, that's just amazing stuff. Now, how did we wind up with the name Panama City? Where did that come from?
Well, it was because of the railroad. The president of the Bay Line Railroad was asked what to name it. Well, he had envisioned Panama, the area being a link with the Panama Canal and Panama City. It had just been, the canal had just been opened. And so they asked the president, well, what do you think we should name our development? He said, Panama City. Now that's the story.
And it was supposed to be a port of call for the canal, and
right.
Well,
and that's the story. But after it was initially called Park Resort, then it was called Harrison for a little bit. Harrison Avenue is a vestige of that.
Yeah, and that name's been around. Now we only got a few seconds left, but I do know you brought some tools of the trade here, and I'm looking at this big old screen over here, and I guess that's what you use to kind of sift through when you're digging a site, and I know.
Right, we're doing shovel tests at the site, hotel site, and we're screening all of the dirt, and we're picking up some things. We're picking up a lot of glass and pottery and nails and things like that from the site. Yes.
No old coins or anything yet.
Huh? No coins yet. This is my favorite tool right here.
Yeah, it just looks like your basic masonry trowel. Yeah.
Yeah, we use that more than we use a shovel.
Sure. So you kind of dig through that, shake that through, and pick through it and see what you come up with.
Yes.
And then you've got to figure out where it came from and how to date it and all that stuff and find a place. Now, if somebody wanted to help you guys, or if somebody wanted to find out more about the Historical Society, what could they do?
Well, they can go to bayhistory.org for one thing. We have a website. You can go to the museum, and we are excavating on Saturdays from 9 to 3 o'clock, and they're welcome to come down and see what we're doing down there. And I'll be glad to tell them more about the
bayhistory.org. Bob Hurst, thank you so much for coming on the show. And
thank you, Don.
And enlightening us on the history of Bay County, Panama City, and
you're quite welcome.
Spanish Road. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the show. I am here with Just Plain Bonnie from Capstone House. Capstone, of course, is that alternate learning center here in town. Now, there's a lot of things that go on in Capstone, and I know we've had Benita, the lady hypnotist, as a regular on this show for a while. fascinating lady.
Yes, she is.
And you too, as well.
Thank you.
You're teaching some classes there, or
We have
what's
a lot
your role
of
there?
we have a lot of classes going on. What we're starting now is a weight management group, and it's a little different. It's a weekly group of people, men and women, who get together and learn about how to take care of themselves. The focus is not so much on forcing yourself to lose weight as it is taking care of yourself and allowing yourself to lose weight.
And how do you do that? I know Benita would work with hypnosis. What techniques would you use? What could we expect to see if we enroll in your
Well,
class?
of course, we do have the latest technology. What our focus will be on personalizing a cookbook and finding out where your limitations are, what you need to do, your likes, your dislikes, any medical or allergies that you may have. We work with those. We try different exercise programs to find out what's the most fun for you.
So it sounds like highly tailored, highly individualized weight loss program.
Oh, that's exactly what we're striving for.
So it'll be to your tastes and your activity level, and
Exactly, because if you don't enjoy it, you're not going to do it. And if you don't do it, you're not going to change your life.
yeah.
So
there really is, there's such a big psychological component to weight loss too. isn't there?
absolutely, absolutely.
And do you work on that at all?
We do. A lot of people, we ask them to think a lot and journal and find out what may be lying underneath the weight, because the weight is like a blanket, and there's something underneath there that makes you feel like you need to be covered.
That's a good one. I've never heard it put that way, but you're quite right when you say that. I know some people find comfort in food.
Absolutely.
Some people are anxious eaters. Some people just like to eat. I'm one of those people that like to eat.
Right.
But there could be a variety of reasons why people eat to excess.
Very true. A lot of it has to do with how they feel about themselves or how they feel about what's happening in their life. And food is the easiest thing to get to when you're feeling stressed or anxious.
Yeah.
Or if you need something, food is always there. In most cases, it's always there to be your next fix.
So you would help people rethink their relationship with food, I suppose.
Absolutely, and their relationship all the way around. In your introductory visit, you'll receive holistic skincare products. There will be a membership in our perfume making club that we started. Also, as I said, the individualized cookbooks, and we're going to offer throughout tools and
Well, that sounds
everything
like a
that we can to help.
variety of activities that you're
Right.
offering that will help you with your goal of losing weight.
That's correct. And it'll be something new. Every time you come, it'll be something different, something new and fun.
Okay, and of course the ultimate goal is to
Be healthy.
is to be healthy.
Right.
And I guess having these, I don't know, I guess activities and distractions, maybe not distraction would be the wrong word, but having these activities is somehow constructive to that.
That's correct. We don't want you to think constantly about, oh, I'm overweight, oh, I need to lose weight, because that's counterproductive. What we want you to do is kind of look a little bit in the future and say, oh, I could do that. I could look like that. This is how I would like to look. This is what I'm working toward. And we've got hints and clues and activities that will allow them to begin to see themselves in a different light.
If I want to find out more about this weight loss class or course, how do we get in touch with you?
You can call Capstone House at 747-9224, ask to speak with Bonnie, and I'll be happy to give you all the information that you'll need.
All right, call Capstone House and ask for Bonnie. Thanks so much for coming on the show.
Well, thank you for having me.
And good luck with your course.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.
I guess I've always lived life in the middle, never jumping in the fast lane. I guess I've always lived life simple, but God is calling me to change.
Mildred, that's so beautiful. I mean,
Thank
I'm
you.
getting my own little show here during the breaks. You guys are missing out. Welcome back to the show. I'm here with Mildred, who's just a wonderful talent. I first met you through Pamela Elliott and her
Yes.
place. I knew you had done some lessons there. And now you're sort of like big time, aren't you?
Well, trying to.
Yeah, now you're launching a new music video tomorrow night, aren't you?
Yes, the music video release party.
Uh-huh.
Yes, and it's going to be at the Martin Theater in downtown Panama.
And what's the music video about? What's it called, actually? What's the name of
It's called Juliet, from my original song called Juliet.
it? Uh-huh.
And it's pretty much about a love story about the one that got away.
Uh-huh.
And so it's about the younger Romeo and Juliet who kind of grow up and aren't Romeo and Juliet anymore.
Oh,
So it's a lot to do with that.
That's kind of sad.
Yes, it's a sad song.
but I'm sure it's a beautiful song.
Yeah.
And that's why I think I might have heard it at one point. You
Yes,
played it
I
on
think
the
you
show.
have,
And
uh-huh.
hopefully we'll get you back to play it again. But
Yes.
Suffice it to say, tomorrow night is the launch of this video.
Yes.
And at the Martin Theater at what time?
At 5:30 p.m.
5:30 p.m. Do I have
Yes.
to pay anything to get
No,
in?
it
or-
is free admission. It's open to the public. Anyone can come in. There is concessions that will be open, but it's at your own expense
Sure.
because the theater can seat up to 450 people.
Yeah.
So we're hoping to get a big crowd.
Well, I'm hoping that we pack it in there too because you're a great talent, and
Thank
I've heard
you.
your music before, and now you're Mildred. You used to be Ariel Melvin in The Boys,
Yes.
but I guess
used
it was
to.
hard for people to find you on the internet and things like that. So
Yes.
now you're Mildred. Remember Mildred if you want to hear Mildred.
Yes, Mildred is my middle name for my great-grandmother. So
Oh, is it really?
It at least has some meaning behind it too.
Oh, yeah, it's kind of a homage to Grandma.
Yes,
there.
yes, for
That's-
sure.
That's wonderful stuff. Now, if somebody wanted to get your music and enjoy your music, how can we do that?
You can definitely, if you come to the party, then I will have information sheets that I will be giving out. But besides that, if you search me on the internet, social media, I have a website of my own. I have
So when are
any
you going to
kind
come
of
out with an
social media.
album and a CD? When can we get that?
It'll be soon. This is my #1 release right now, and I have to finish up the rest of the album for Juliet. So it'll take some time. This video has taken some time, so anything that really is a big production is going to take a little bit of
Well,
time.
people don't understand the amount of work that goes into this type of artistry.
Yes.
And you do make beautiful music. I've heard you in
Thank
person
you.
many times, and I've actually seen you. I follow you on YouTube as well, so I hear your music there, and I think it's high time you come out with a CD.
Yes,
I mean, you're due.
definitely. That's
You're due,
my
Mildred.
Yes, it's my next task that I'm going to do.
All right, so if you folks are out there now and you're interested in hearing more of Mildred's music, make sure to come out to the Martin Theater tomorrow night. Right, 6 o'clock, is that what you said?
At 5:30.
5:30. See, I
Yes.
would have made everybody late.
And
yeah.
it's formal attire,
Formal
black tie
attire.
affair. So
Okay.
whatever you want to wear.
So
But
whatever passes for
formal.
formal in your world, that would be a suit to me, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
For
good.
sure.
And there'll be a little reception and all that stuff.
Yes, it's going to be. We'll walk through the event, and there's programs we'll be giving out, so people will know what's going on.
And we'll get to meet you.
Yes.
That's awesome stuff. Mildred, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank
and
you.
best of luck with your art, and best of luck with the new video tomorrow night.
Thank you.
5:30, Martin Theater.
Yes.
Be there, Martin Theater, to hear Mildred, her video, Romeo and Juliet, right?
Juliet, yes.
Just Juliet, forget Romeo, it's just Juliet. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the show. I'm here with Kristen Gramazio from that great little app that we all have on our phones and tablets, Live 850. And Live 850 tells us what's going on this weekend.
Yes, so
And you're going to tell us what's going
I'm
on this
going
weekend.
to tell
Yeah.
you. Today we have the Fest at Panama City Mall,
Uh-huh.
and there'll be a car show, lots of bikes, food, activities for the kids, great things to do and get out for a good night on the town with your family.
The Fest, and it doesn't cost anything, does it? You just
Nope.
kind of stroll on through and
Yeah,
buy if
absolutely.
you
Get
want or
something to
not.
eat. You know, kids can. There's games and activities
And look
there
at
for
those
them.
cool old cars
Absolutely,
that
yes.
us guys love.
And then this weekend we also have Cajun Fest at Schooners. Great time, great music on the beach. Crawfish boil on Saturday and Sunday. So definitely check that out. We have My Paint Party, which is on Harrison Ave, and that's for the Child Abuse Awareness Month.
Yeah, My Paint Party is kind of a cool thing. We've had that lady on the show here, and it's actually kind of a cool thing. They talk you through how to put a painting together and all that. I've got a little starfish hanging somewhere in my house.
Yes, no, that's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So that will be a great benefit to go to. And then we also have the Seabreeze Jazz Fest on Sunday, which will be great.
David Sanborn.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Great.
George Benson.
Yeah.
That's
great
huge.
names. Great names. So that starts at 8:30, and that's at the Aaron Benson Park.
Yeah, Aaron Benson Park.
Benson Park, yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, that Jazz Fest. I got to tell you, Panama City Beach could learn a lesson, you know, with that Jazz Fest. That's the type of thing that we need around
Oh,
here,
it's going to be
because
great.
It's going to be huge.
Yes.
You know? And unless we forget, we've got Freaknik going on this weekend,
Yes,
too. I had to throw that in there, too. And whoever approved that, and you know who you are, shame on you. But hopefully it'll be a peaceful weekend. I know the sheriff's all geared up for that. And,
Yes.
he's going to keep us safe. But thank you.
Absolutely.
Again I know you've been very busy lately with moving, and now you're officially a Panama City Beach resident.
Yes.
You're no longer in Boston anymore.
No more.
Yes.
I've landed here, and I'll be staying for quite some time.
That's right, and the good ones always come here and stay.
Yes.
Like me. Another refugee from the Northeast. Kristen Gramazio, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me again.
And we look forward to getting your hacks on Tuesday.
Yes.
And next week we'll certainly get another hack on 850.
Absolutely. Have a good one.
All right, you too. And that'll be it for now. We'll see you next time.